So sad this year. I've failed all my classic viewers because I didn't get to do any Halloween themed videos this year. I really feel bad about that, but it's been one of those years, man. Anyways, it's Michael B, and welcome to another episode of Chill and Chat with Michael B. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different. In case it hasn't been pretty, visible the last couple of weeks, there's not a lot of news right now. There's not a lot of stuff of note going on in the home arcade space. So I've been looking at doing different things. Last week we talked about if we could change one thing about Arcade One Up, what would it be? This week is a continuation of a conversation that I had on Super Game Room Dudes this past week. So you'll all remember I got to take a look at this new Galaga My Arcade for the very first time with the joystick, and I was just stopped. I was like, what the hell is this? And I was pretty critical of it. And I broke one of my rules because I do have a rule, and I was just trying to have a little bit of fun. But my rule is if anybody else likes something, that's fine. I don't want to judge them. I want to play the way that I want to play. And that's really the message that I was trying to put out there about what I like and what I don't like. But I was pretty critical, and it was supposed to be in a joking way of people who like My Arcade. So if you're a My Arcade fan, I apologize, and I especially apologize to Gen X Grown Up Gaming. I don't know him. I've never really watched his channel just because I don't think that we have the same interests and stuff like that. So, anyways, I was having a little bit of fun. I wasn't 100% serious, but I did take some time to reflect upon it, and I wanted to talk about My Arcade tonight because, honestly, guys, this is an arcade company I never talk about, and there's a reason for that. It's because I just haven't been interested in. And if you watch my channel and you watch me for a while, should be pretty clear. I talk about the things I'm interested in. And if I'm not interested in something, I don't typically bash it. I might make fun of it on Super Game Room Dudes, but I just don't talk about it. So that's why I've never talked about My Arcade. But I wanted to take a look at it tonight, get some feedback from you guys, and maybe, just maybe, could I have been wrong from my first impressions of My Arcade and kind of give you my history of the experience with it? On top of that, I've got some other stuff that I want to talk about too. This is going to be more of a chill, relaxed, hopefully viewer engaged stream tonight. Hopefully you guys are here for it. And also, I've been a little bit down in the dumps lately. I don't know why. And hopefully you guys can perk up my mood. It's always fun to be here with you on Monday nights. Anyways, let's try to have as much fun as we possibly can. This is Chillin' Chat with Michael B. Heyo! So no P-dubs tonight, guys. We won't have that behind-the-scenes war of which show you're going to watch. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me tonight. Hopefully, P-dubs will be back soon to give you some quality entertainment, because as you guys know, I'm maybe the 17th or 18th best home arcade podcasts on the internet. But moving up the ranks in the pinball category, believe it or not, moving up the ranks in the pinball category. Anyways, let's take a look and see who's here tonight. We got some really early comments earlier this morning that I want to bring up. JJ was on. I know JJ was looking for P-dubs to talk about Multicade Monday tonight. No Multicade Monday, but hopefully this will be interesting for you, JJ. Biggie D's Arcade was here really early today, and he said, this is something he's been talking about for the past couple weeks. My moderator, the great Jason Little Alien, happy Halloween, you all. See you tonight. Same Genie time, same Genie channel. And my buddy Charlie Chuck was here really early today. I'll answer the question this way. Does P-dubs wear jorts? The correct answer is all the time, even when he showers. So let's go down and say hello to some people in the chat. I got Bobby, 1ALU is here. Dan Z is here. Dan in St. Louis, always good to see you, my man. Carlo. Carl says, bad Mike, get me that Game Station Pro for $79 at Costco. I don't have a membership. I have a membership, but only in Canada, I guess. And the Game Station Pro isn't actually even available at Costco here in Canada. At least I didn't see it. So too bad about that. We've also got In Danger Dog, Rush Lars, Game Room Gurus here, Andy's Game Room, El Capitan, Conti Dinda's here. Conti, good to see you, my man. Looking forward to getting to meet you for the first time. Later on in November, when I head to Toronto, Galaga guys here, MSU Rich, Alfred Berger, dropping the pumpkins. Happy Halloween, everybody. Oh, and then instead of turning it off, I started for some reason. Stock Jock. What's happening, Stock Jock? Any word on Robotron yet? No word on Robotron yet. I don't think we're going to hear anything else 3/4 scale or XL related from Arcade 1-Up until, January hits. That seems to be the time when they first announced their 2024 products. So January, let's keep a close eye and see what the lineup is. Fingers crossed, something cool. Chris Langs is here. Good to see you, Chris. Who else is here? Did I miss anybody? Scaredy Cat. I didn't even read this comment first. I have a bunch of those mini arcades. I don't know if they are my arcade. Kids like to line up the Funko Pop, and I got like 6 at work lined up under my computer monitor. Desk shit. Thor KC's here. Good to see you, Thor. Who else we got? Calvin Wong. Chris NXNW, formerly Nooner, I do believe. Who else? Sterling Hall. Good to see you, Sterling. Always nice to see you every Monday. P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Amazon dropped it off. It's here. P-Dubs, you have to tell us what it's like. Maybe, just maybe, if you're around your computer, you could pop on at some point. You know how to get in. Humble Pig's here. What's happening, Humble Pig? Biggie D's Arcade. Chris McCloy. Who else we got? Tyler V. Nice to see you, Tyler. Kongzarus is here. Happy Monday. Ask Kongzarus about sausage. Apparently, there's a big sausage conspiracy. Game Room Guru says, I'm thinking about going to CES because I expect something big from Arcade 1-Up. Interesting. I know Console Kits and Kongzarus have been talking about going. 720 Eric, what's happening, brother? Yes, P-Dubs, join the show, my man. Let's do it live. Let's do it. Let's open your Galaga, my arcade. Get on the camera, brother. Get that Galaga up. Kongzarus, LOL. What can I say? My wife likes sausage. I have heard that, Kongzarus. So anyways, we'll wait to see if P-Dubs gets online and drops a little Galaga goodness on us from this product, this My Arcade. While we're waiting for that, though, we've got a $5 super chat, $4.99, from my buddy Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. What's up, Mike B? Do you think My Arcade will release Robotron before Arcade 1-Up? If they do, it'll be incorrect. It definitely won't be a twin stick game, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Thank you very much for the super chat, my man. And you know what show this is? When we get a super chat on my show, you got to give the people what they want. Thank you very much again, Ezekiel. We got a update on P-Dub's ETA. Let me hit the bathroom first because the stream is about to be the shits. God bless you, P-Dubs. Thank you very much, my man. Oh, what do I got going on with my hair here? Jeez Louise. Galaga Guy 88 says, man, it gets to the point where there are so many products, I don't even want to see new ones. My wallet is hurting way too much. Yeah, I'm in a point right now where I've been trying not to buy anything. So while we're waiting for P-Dubs, and before we get into the whole My Arcade thing, there is a couple other things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me bring up the screen here now. So let me get this up. First thing I want to talk about is, of course, you would have saw the deal. I know I'm a pinball podcast, guys. Just be patient with me. So I'm a pinball podcast. You would have saw the deals last week on some Stern tables in the U.S. from different distributors. James Bond, Pro and Premium getting discounts, with the Pro being $1,000 off, Premium being $2,000 off, Led Zeppelin, and also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But it looks like those deals have not extended to Canada. I've been checking out Nitro Pinball, and the price remains the same. Look at these prices. Oh, they're disgusting. Anyways, let me go down and let me find a James Bond here for you guys. So here's the James Bond Pro, $9,974. That is the Pro price converted to Canadian. So that is still $6,999. So unfortunately, those deals have not hit Canada, which is a good thing because I may have been tempted if there was some kind of sale on to, divert from my original concept and idea what I wanted to get. And that is, of course, Stranger Things. Stranger Things always right next to Godzilla has been my 1B. Godzilla was always my 1A. Stranger Things is my 1B. Let me change how this looks. I don't like this right now. So Stranger Things was my 1B. I've always wanted one. I actually have a Pro held by my distributor. Didn't even take what is it called? I forget the name of it. Usually when you put your name down and do up a sales order, they take a discounts were on Zeppelin, not Bond. You're right. It was Zeppelin, Rush, and thanks for the heads up. Deposit. Yes. Deposit. That's what it was. Zeppelin, and I said Bond, but I didn't mean Bond. That was wishful thinking. Zeppelin, Rush, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Deposit, guys. God bless you. Matt Asher, how you doing, man? I've been thinking about you a lot lately. Send me a message later. I just want to check in on you. So they didn't even take a deposit, and I was so happy to do that. But unfortunately, I have just hit a standstill on this process of trying to get myself this Stranger Things. So God bless them for not taking a deposit. And I've been moving stuff, trying to move stuff, and it isn't happening. It isn't working. So my Dungeons and Dragons pinball machine still currently up on Marketplace. I have a guy in Alberta that wants to buy it, but he's not going to have the cash anytime soon. He said he might be able to do it in October. I got excited. October's coming on, so it looks like November, December before he'll get the cash together. And I'm a little concerned because he's like, I'll send you some money up front, to hold it. But he's never done that. And I think he means he'll send me the money up front for me to ship it, and then he'll pay me the rest when he gets it. And that's not going to work for me, brother. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to move my Dungeons and Dragons, which is really the albatross slowing this whole thing down right now. Because if I can't move Dungeons and Dragons, I'm just not going to be able to buy Stranger Things. That's it. I'm Mikey Two Pins. And I really need the money from this sale in order to make Stranger Things happen. And I need the space. So there's that one. The other one I want to bring up is I've been trying to actually sell my At Games Legends pinball machine. And hold on, guys. Hold on. A little bit of a thing here with my speakers that I didn't set up beforehand. So you can see my sound and all that stuff. This was not my intention, but there we go. So let me just turn this off. So I've also been trying to sell my At Games Legends pinball table with the deluxe backs box. And I haven't really had a lot of luck on that because what is Scott, I'm selling it for $6,500 Canadian. It's a little on the high end for the price point, but it does have the original topper. So I'm taking that in consideration, the topper in working order. So there you go. No. And maybe it is the price point why I'm having so much trouble selling it. I don't know. So maybe I'll lower the price and see if that does some works. But anyways, the other thing I was trying to sell to bring some cash up was my At Games Legends pinball table, my original, with my deluxe back box and bibs board. But I got to tell you, sometimes when you buy something and you do upgrades to it, really doesn't help the sale. And that's what I'm noticing now. The only people that have really been interested in it want to buy it for a discounted price off what the original would cost. They don't see any value in the deluxe backs box. So what I've been thinking about doing actually is I'm actually thinking about screw it. I'm just going to keep it because here's the thing. I love this thing for playing visual pinball and Pinball FX because I did go with the deluxe back box that does have the DMD that's the correct size for playing retro games. And if you take a look at the new Pinball FX, At Games Legends, they do have a third screen and they have third screen setup, but it's more of a square, more modern for more modern pinball games and some other games you can play through visual pinball. So I think I'm going to keep both. I'm going to go best of both worlds. I'm going to keep both digital pinball tables. Probably crazy, but I think I'm going to do it. It's just, I can't seem to get any value out of this. No one's willing to pay for the upgrade for the deluxe backs box I did. So I think, screw it. I'm just going to keep it. So these things keep happening. Stranger Things is getting further and further away as a possibility. I think I might have mentioned this as well. Like, other stuff has come up. Our stove went out. We got my daughter's birthday coming up, so yeah, I it's becoming more clear to me now that Stranger Things might not happen, and it kind of sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. I can't move stuff, and I'm not going to have the cash in time. So I'm really bummed out about that. But geez, that's all I can do. So I'm still hopeful that I can make Stranger Things happen, but it's really not friggin' looking good, man. So couldn't move my At Games Legends pinball table for a decent price. Still haven't been able to move Dungeons and Dragons. Without two of those going, it's not going to happen. And Jason knows. I mean, just in a tough place for resale. Like, I had one guy write me, and he was like, "Oh man, I really want this," but I actually took my ALP down off Marketplace, down off all my sale ads. I was like, "Screw it, I'm just not putting it up." And he wrote me and he said, "Hey man, did you sell your At Games Legends pinball table after? I was really interested. I'm sorry I haven't talked to you in a while." And I was like, no, it's still for sale. I just took down my ads. So he said, "Yeah, I'm really interested. What's your best price?" And I was like, "Well, my last going price, which was $1,300 Canadian. You got to think about it. The ALP is $1,100 here in Canada. The deluxe back box cost me $800 to get here. Vibs board is another $100. So works out to about $2,000. So I said, I thought $1,300 was fair. So I want to get somewhere around there." He was like, "I'm thinking more $700-800. And I was like, "Well, that's fine. I'm not going to sell it for that." So yeah, just Jesus. You can pick up my Foo Fighters LE and I'll give you my OG Legends pinball free. Oh yeah. Yeah, dear God, Rushmore. I'm not trying to sell uh my Hack Games Legends pinball for $6,500. Dungeons and Dragons. If you go to Pinside on the sale, Pinside, and it's 1,300 Canadian. Rushmore. If you go to Pinside on the sale end, I think on the high end they sell around $4,000 to $4,500 US for the Dungeons and Dragons and the condition mine's in. Plus, then I'm factoring in the topper. Probably got a little overpriced. I'll probably drop the price and then see where we go from there. It's just, I don't want to drop the price because I already got somebody who's willing to buy it out in Alberta. It's just, do I wait for him and then that be a bust, or do I drop the price? That's kind of where I'm to on that. So yeah, waiting on P-Dubs to come. Maybe he was jerking me around. Hey, what's happening, James Hates everything? Nice to see you, man. Yeah, it's $700-800 without the PC. Yeah, I'm not selling the PC. I bought a very expensive PC for my Legends pinball, so it's just the Legends pinball, buy stuff deluxe back box, and the Vibs board is what I was trying to sell it. See, I thought it was pretty fair. I mean, $1,300. I'd rather keep it for that. Hey, bad guy Mike Worley, nice to see you, man. P-Dubs, how many few do you need? Anyways, yeah, that's fine, P-Dubs. Take your time, man. That's not a bad idea. Bargain basement podcast. I don't want to sell it for a bargain basement price, Adam. Cornercade, maybe. I'll send you a message. Do the OnlyFans thing. Dance around with some pasties and show some helmet. I can show my penis neck. It's male cleavage, the penis neck. All right. So anyways, guys, a couple other things I wanted to tell you about. You might have seen this in the groups, but there is a little bit of Arcade 1-Up news to actually talk about tonight, and it's very little. If you can see behind me, I'm going to put this down for a second. Notice on every arcade back there, minus Golden Tee because it's really one you got to stand at. It's a little uncomfortable for me to sit down at. So I have the stools for all those arcades. Oh, JR, we'll get to that in a second. Thanks for reminding me. So I'm a bit of an arcade one-up stool junkie. Really like their stools. I love pairing them with the arcades. I'm one of those guys. At the height of my arcade, I think I had like almost 14 stools down there in my arcade. So I'm kind of wild with the stools. But if you guys have been following the arcade one-up pages and also Shop Hippo, they put up some new stools for pre-order today. So we've got a new Galaga stool, a new Pac-Man adjustable stool. We got a stool for Time Crisis, stool for NBA Jam, a new one, Golden Tee Golf 3D. The Joust one was already out. We got a new Super Pac-Man stool, a new Marvel vs. Capcom 2 stool, a new Big Buck Hunter stool, which is the first time seeing, and it's not on the front page, but we also have a new Mortal Kombat stool. And yeah, this is interesting. It's got a very interesting looking dragon. Side art is red as opposed to black. So new Mortal Kombat stool. If you're an arcade one-up stool aficionado or you're digging the stools, go check out Shop Hippo right now because they have a bunch of stools up that are first time only. Now, the weird thing about this is this is actually the stool company for Arcade One Up. Shop Hippo, as seen on TV, this is how they got started with Arcade One Up. They really like the friggin' stool, so they became like the exclusive stool place to go get them. So if you're looking for unique and interesting stools for your Arcade One Up cabinets, they got some new ones. If you just shelled out $749 for a Time Crisis cab, what's another $89.99 US more to get your official Time Crisis stool? And from what I hear, Time Crisis, I asked B about this when I watched his review. I still haven't seen one in person. The screen is actually pretty low on it. So one of the cool things about T2 was they raised the screen up so much that it was fun to play at. But what I'm hearing from everybody else now, the screen is actually pretty low on Time Crisis. It's a giant cab, really tall, but the screen is pretty low. So that does kind of suck. Maybe you will need a stool. Anyways, let me take that off the screen. We got some super chats here to deal with. And get a sip of coffee because my voice is starting to go. My sinuses have been really bad the past year, and I guess it's been affecting my shows and the way I talk. But we got a $10 super chat here from my moderator, Jason. You didn't have to do that, man. A few extra Kit Kats and Milky Ways never hurt anyone. Cheer up, man. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate that, my man. And because you were so nice, let's get you a good one. I know you're a horror movie fan, so I wanted to throw something horror at you. And we got another super chat here from Galaga Guy, $1.99. Are all these pics stool samples? They are stool samples. Funny thing about the Arcade One-Up art and the stools, it's never centered. I don't know what the hell they do in the factory. It's always off to the side and stuff like that. So more than likely these are renders because when you get the stool, that Time Crisis guy is going to be over here and definitely not centered between those two posts. Trust me. Anyways, thank you very much for the super chat, Galaga Guy. Let's see what we're going to do for you. Thank you very much, Galaga Guy. You got to give the people what they want. So here we go. Yeah, that's correct. I always say it wrong. Horror. But I always say horror. Horror. I don't know why I do that. Anyways. Yeah, I know. Hold up. Why is there a stool for a game you need to stand to play so you can use the pedal? I don't know, man. I don't know. Screen was very high on Time Crisis Arcade, especially not compared to T2. I know nobody will care, but it's the facts. That's fine. I can't even remember ever playing Time Crisis. So, Galaga Guy, we know why you do that. I don't understand what you mean. Oh, about the movies. There you go. Anyways, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. If you guys were offended with the price of Time Crisis when it initially came out, you've been patiently waiting for a sale, I've got really good news for you because Time Crisis is currently on sale. And if you haven't heard about this yet, get ready for excitement because Time Crisis is in fact on sale right now through Wayfair. So, as you can see, sale, you can get Time Crisis from Wayfair for the low, low price of $899.99, currently on sale. Every time I see these cabs go up on Wayfair, I'm like, oh my God. So, this is an example of the distributor just charging whatever the hell they want. I don't get it, but here we are. So, if you want to pay even more money, than what was already a somewhat inflated price. Time Crisis, Wayfair, $8.99. P-Dubs, you're not going to jump on that, are you?
No, sir. No, sir, not at all.
Did you have your poop?
Oh yeah, and then I had to get stuff set up here, so it's kind of a mess up here.
Thank you so much for doing this. So tonight I want to talk about my arcade and is my arcade really as bad as I think? And you, my friend, were unable to cancel your order for the Galaga My Arcade. So it seems like we're going to do a live unboxing here tonight of your Galaga My Arcade. Are you excited?
I couldn't be more thrilled, Mike, and hello to everybody in the live chat. Hope you guys are doing well.
So do you want to talk about My Arcade first, or do you want to go right into the unboxing? What do you want to do?
We should talk about it first, and then we'll get to the good stuff.
So I have always had a problem with My Arcade because I see them in Walmart and they just look like junk to me. Does that make sense to you? They look like they're cheaply made. And I want to bring this up on screen here now because I went back and I brought up some of their earlier cabinets. I want to explain my point of view. So, like the first time I ever saw My Arcade, it was probably this Pac-Man one. And immediately, do you see what I see there? What do you think my problem is?
That doesn't look like the arcade ROM, is it?
Exactly. I don't know if that's the arcade ROM. That's a horizontal screen, and it looks to be a console port of Pac-Man. It looks to be, I want to say the NES version, but I'm not 100% sure. Colors certainly make it look like the NES version. I don't know. Someone can correct me. Anyways, I saw this, and I saw these stupid controls, the D-pad with the arcade sticking up, and it just looked really shitty. Like, I should like these because obviously they got the right marquee. They're trying to emulate the art. They got the right color of the arcade, but just something about them seemed cheap and junky. I remember there being a Mortal Kombat one. It was the same thing. It looked like shit, and it was running the console ports. It's kind of like the collector cage, just half as expensive. So there's more. Don't worry, there's more. We'll get into it.
Yeah, they've made a lot of them over the years, man. They've been around for a while, 5 years or longer. They've been around.
So check out this shit. You know how I deeply, deeply love Burger Time.
Yeah.
But what do you see again?
That's looks like a Nintendo or Coleco port, actually.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. What do you notice about the controls?
Well, I mean, you got a 4-way joystick there.
Yep.
And you got the one button for the pepper. What's the other button for?
I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, Burger Time. I don't know if it's just stretched, if it is the arcade ROM, or if it's console port. It's, yeah, like Conti says, it's also NES. So, oh, here we go. We got a $1.99 super chat from Scott J. Parisi for the P-Dump swear jar. And because you're here, and I know how much they bother you, I won't do my super chat videos.
It's your show, man. It's your show. If you want to play them, play them. It's your show.
God
Give the people what they want.
Yes. Anyways,
hey,
P-Dubs.
Hey, JJ. So, my allergies are kicking in like really bad. You would think there'd be no allergies in Arizona, but there are. The weather's changing here. Now it's like highs of 79 degrees instead of 110. And what you call it? Like I just been sneezing like crazy, Mike, for like the last 3 days. So I might be a little congested, everybody. Sorry about that.
They were called NES on a chip ports.
Mm.
Kind of like the Sega Genesis ports for the Casino Cade. Anyways, so this was my problem with it. I always thought these things were pretty junky, but as time has gone on, maybe they've got better because if you take a look at their Galaga here, this does look like it has the arcade port on it. Art is still a little messed up, but the control panel art looks good. I don't know what they got going on with the bezel, but maybe they've improved their product, and I'm giving them an unfair saying. I mean, it still looks plasticky and stuff like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're all made out of plastic. I think even to this day, they're plastic.
Sterling Hall says up until this year, they were NES ROMs. The new ones appear to be arcade ROMs. So maybe my
That's
arcade are stepping up their game, and I've been unfairly attacking them, or I've got a bad taste in my mouth from the initial impression. But uh, where I wanted to go with this is just because something initially is not great doesn't mean the product's not going to be great forever. One example would be Act Games. I mean, people were so mad at Act Games for their plug and play consoles, for some of the like Sega Genesis that they put out, other things like that, that they wrote that company off. But Act Games came storming back with their Legends Ultimate line, really improved the quality of their product. So maybe my arcade can as well. That is until I
or
saw
maybe
Friday,
they, or
or
maybe
maybe
they
they
can't,
don't.
or
So
maybe they can't.
that was until Friday night when we were on Super Game Room Dudes, and I got to see this Galaga arcade for the
You
very
were
first time.
kind of a dick on Friday on Super Game Room
I
Dudes. I mean, you
was,
were you were you were you were talking all kinds of smack on the show.
I was. So I was.
I'm surprised you didn't have YouTube videos made about your behavior because that usually happens to me. Like, if I say
I
one
can't
thing, if I
control
say
that.
one thing out of line, man,
Yeah.
they come
So
they come running.
anyways, we talked about this on Super Game Room Dudes, and I saw this for the first time, and I was brutal about it, and I was just having a little bit of fun joking around on Gen X Gaming, saying he's a my arcade shill. Freaking ads, man! Like, oh man, who puts ads in their video?
What kind of person
What kind of
does
sleaze
ads?
bag puts ads in the video?
Yeah.
Biggie D's
I like
Arcade says Street
I
Fighter has
like
the
I
Genesis
like Gen
version.
X growing up because I think he puts together very well produced content.
Oh yeah, actually, so on Super Game Room Dudes, I was a little attacky about my arcade, and I made some jokes about Gen X gaming growing up. I've never watched this stuff. You told me about him years ago because he used to review the Partycades. And again, this is a product I've never been a Partycade guy except for the Defender Partycade because it was so unique. I'm a
Hmm.
3/4 scale diva, now an XL diva. I always have been. So this desk shit and wall shit and all that stuff really hasn't tickled my fancy. So I just never got around to watching his stuff. I've never been a fan of my arcade. So not a lot of the stuff he's talked about has ever interested me. I don't know him. I've never even watched one of his videos. So it's not fair for me to critique him and say that, oh, he's a shill. That was a joke, obviously, because of how much we're called shills. But he reviewed
Yeah.
it and he made some good points at the beginning. I watched a little bit of it today. Talked about the joystick. If they were to make certain games like Tron, certain games like Afterburner, certain games like who was it? Chris Ford said in our Gorf.
Yeah.
This is probably how you would have to do it because it'd be stupid to try to play with a little tiny, flight stick. So you would have to do it this way. Galaga, I don't get. I don't understand.
I love this comment from JR right here.
Yeah. And I actually went and I spent most of the weekend looking for it because if I'm not mistaken, I somewhere remember some kind of modern Galaga having a flight stick, and I looked everywhere for it. I was all over Raw Thrills page because they've got the new Galaga arcade cabinet out. I then thought maybe it was a giant one like the giant Pac-Man. I can't find it. I can't find any reason for them to make this cabinet with a with a flight stick. It just makes no sense.
I was just checking the new Galaga, which we're going to open up here in a minute. I don't see anywhere on here where it says it requires batteries because my Miss Pac-Man required batteries. Do these have rechargeable batteries now?
I have no idea, P-dubs. I guess we'll find out when we
Usually
open it up.
somewhere on the packaging it would say like requires 4 AA batteries, but it's not there. But here, let's
Oh,
have some. Go ahead.
yeah. Before we do that, though, I did want to say if you are interested in getting any My Arcade products, he has all of them listed here with his Amazon links. So if you're ever thinking about buying one, go give Gen X Gaming some money. They're all here, every one of them.
Too funny. All right. Let's do this. Let's have some fun here, Mike. Let me help you out. Let me help you out a little bit.
Yeah, put that big screen.
All right. So this right here, and I'll switch to another camera here when we actually want to turn something on. So this is the only one I have. This is the Miss Pac-Man one. And like I bought this 2 or 3 years ago because I wanted to give him a shot. And it was just to me it's just impulse buy grocery store stuff.
Yeah, how much was it?
Geez, this thing was like $30, I think, back then. Now they're like $50 because prices have gone up. But
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know
seen
why
them.
my camera's so bright.
I've seen them here in Canada, and usually they were about 40, $50 into Walmart,
Yeah.
Canadian. And
Oh, is
I've
it?
always been a little bit off put by them because I assume they were console ports. But like, there's a lot of things I like. Like, I mean, they've got the right artwork on there. They're trying to emulate it. It doesn't have the right
Yeah.
shape, but they try to do some stuff to add some nostalgia. And I'm a big nostalgia guy. But of course, you
Mhm.
see that horizontal screen, and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. So like I bought one and never again. It's been sitting on the shelf. Sure enough, it needed 4 AA batteries, which these are all dead. So
You could have talked to
uh,
Detroit Love. He would have hooked you up. He would have put a battery pack in that.
yeah, and I think there was a charging cable. But here's the new one, right? Now what's interesting is before we even take it out, we do see, Mike, we do see that it is pretty much the same size as the other unit.
Yep.
So all they've done here is they've added this front piece right here that has the joystick on it, but the units themselves are pretty much the same size. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and get this thing open for you.
What do you think of the packaging? Do you like the box, how it comes, all that stuff?
Really? It's
I know
plastic.
I'm one of these people. I look at that. Like, I love
Well, I
with
mean, it's
quarter
kind of cool.
arcades and with Numbskull, the box and packaging they come in. I appreciate the time and effort put into it.
Now, I want to point out though, I checked every single section of this box, and nowhere on the packaging does it say you need batteries to operate. Which usually,
Oh
like if they're
man, we could get
like
them.
if they're
Can you imagine if they didn't put that on the box? It's like
yeah,
Arcade One Up, not putting online required for the
well,
casino cade.
well, the reason why you want that there is, if you're going to sell these in grocery stores, which is I'm sure where they're going to end up, um, that's usually kind of like a requirement, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at it. And sure enough, we have a battery case on the back, which
Wow.
man, that's hard to open.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a screw in there, bastards.
That'd probably be why. Do you have a screwdriver?
Not with me. I'd have to go get one. All right, so they've screwed the battery shut, which we'll show you here. But take a look right here, guys. This is it right here, and it's got your little wiggle stick.
How does the joystick feel? Does it only go left and right?
Yeah, it only goes left and right. Yeah,
and there's nowhere to plug it in. There's no,
the trigger button's pretty small. It's got a micro USB. Oh, it's got a micro USB port on it right there.
Maybe you don't need batteries. Maybe you can just plug it in.
On off switch. I don't know. We'll find out. Yep, it's gonna need the batteries. Yep, there's no like internal battery. Damn it!
My favorite part is how the joystick blocks the screen.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll switch to a different camera for that. Let's just go normal view. I'll have to find a mini screwdriver here. I didn't know that why would they screw this shut? Ridiculous, if you ask me.
Thor brings up a good point. Only being a two-way joystick is a win in my book. Yep. And Jason says USB-C cable will work too, so you can just plug it in if you got a USB-C cable.
So that's how clicky the joystick is. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Bob Oif with a $1.99 super chat. Does the joystick feel better than Tron?
I don't know, man. I feel uncomfortable playing with this thing, honestly, because I'm too much of a child.
Nostalgia would feel more comfortable playing with it. That's usually the size he
But
works with.
you gotta admit, the colors and the sticker artwork actually look pretty cool on this. You know what I mean? Right here, so they have a screw here. I gotta go get my screwdriver. It takes batteries. I'm sure that it's got an on-off switch, and then here's your volume up and down buttons right here. So,
okay, so really quickly,
there you go. Now you can see it. Nice, rich colors. Look how nice that looks.
Do you have a USB-C cable?
Yes, I do actually.
Well, then you plug that in. While you're doing that, Bob, I've got to reward you for your patronage. And Bob, which one am I going to do? Thank you very much, Bob. You got to give the people what they want. $1.99 super chat. So going back to the chat here now. That thing is sweet. What's the retail? $7.99? It's actually $69.99 here in Canada. Bag Guy McWhirly says, I have the Contra mini cabinet. It's actually pretty fun. So is that the arcade ROM? Because I did notice that does have a vertical screen as opposed to horizontal. So I would assume it's actually the Contra arcade port. Hey, you're welcome, Bob. Zodwriter, yeah, all this My Arcade hate is ridiculous. Thanks, Zodwriter. Yeah, 60. Well, that's Canadian. That's Canadian. I think it's $49.99 US. P-Dubs? P-Dubs isn't listening, but $49.99 US. P-Dubs apparently wasn't ready for this. It's almost like he didn't know he was going to be doing this tonight.
Yeah, this was all not set up, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry about it, P-Dubs. Nothing on my show is prepared. Same thing every week.
So we got it fired up here, but I'm going to have to get the camera down here for you guys. What a mess.
He has a USB-C cable, but lost his self-esteem, Paul Minderman says.
Yeah, so I just plugged it in with the USB-C to power it up.
Get out of town. The Contra My Arcade is like $70. That has to be from a secondary seller. There's no way.
Oop, I unplugged my mouse. Where'd it go? Okay, let's see if I can get this down here.
Anybody out there, if you're listening, Carlo does not have a Costco membership and he wants to save $20 on the Game Station Pro. Please go help him out.
What a mess. All right, let's do this. All right, bear with me.
My Arcade has a portable NES outrider. I haven't seen that.
You have a portable what?
Portable NES, Zodwriter says. I've never seen My Arcade have an NES. I don't know what he's talking about.
Hang on one second.
You take your time, P-Dubs. You're doing us a favor.
Oh. You know what's nice, Mike, is all this moving around on these chairs. The chair has not broken yet.
Nope, me and P-Dubs actually had the exact same chair, the Ewin Flash XL. I went with the gold.
You figured the chair would have broken by now, but it hasn't. So, what the fuck? Oh, my camera's all messed up.
I'll have to look into that, Zodwriter. I've never seen that. Now,
right.
There are a couple My Arcade products that I am slightly interested in. So I've never bought one, but I am possibly looking at maybe buying my first one, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But right now, everything's about this My Arcade Galaga that we saw and was just amazed by this past Friday on Super Game Room Dudes.
I might have to switch to the DSLR to get a good picture. Yeah, I'll have to switch to the DSLR. Oh, see, this is what happens when you're not prepared, guys. You guys don't realize the stuff we go through to put together semi-watchable content, right, Mike? Semi-watchable content for everybody.
Nothing's ever watchable on my channel. I just ramble on here. People are used to it. All right, well, you get set up. I'm going to talk about some stuff from my arcade that I looked into today that I am somewhat interested in buying. So I'm just going to pull P-Dubs off the screen until he's ready, and he can come back in when he is. So I went to their page, and I was looking at their stuff. So here they have Super Street Fighter 2. I don't know if it's the arcade ROM or not, but I will say I don't like the art. Here is what I'm interested in. This Atari Game Station Pro. It's $99.99, ships by October 31st. That's the Canadian date. That's the US price, though. Here in Canada, it is $139.99. So I really have been looking at options to get back into the Atari 2600 and different Atari games. So I'm looking at the At Games Atari 50th Gold that just recently came out. I've been considering that. I'm also looking at this Atari Game Station, and everything I've seen from it so far has been pretty positive. People are saying they really dig it. I mean, of course, it doesn't look like the original Atari 2600 or Atari 5200 or Atari 7800. It takes artistic liberties. But there are things I like. I like this light up thing. I'm kind of a nut for RGB. So this is one I'm considering getting if I can get one at the right price. So we'll see how things go there. Now, going down for the other stuff that's there, someone else brought this up earlier. Pocket Player Pro. They brought up this Tetris one. Now, this is not something I would buy personally, but Ezekiel, where is this? Check my super chat, Michael B. Where was your super chat? Did I miss it? Ezekiel, I usually never miss it. Oh, there we go. Does it have a BOE monitor? Thank you for the super chat, Ezekiel. I have no idea if it has a BOE monitor. I have no idea. So this Tetris one, this is not something necessarily for me. I'm going to have to do some more looking into it. But my mom loves Tetris, absolutely loves Tetris. And maybe this is something that she would dig. I could get her, she could keep in her purse, and she could bring around with her. And when she's got a free moment, she could play some Tetris. I would need to know more about it. Like, I'm looking at the way the game looks here on the TV, and I don't like this. I think this looks kind of shitty. So I would have to do some more looking into it. But my mom's a Tetris fan. They get a bunch of these pocket players. And I mean, Pac-Man actually looks to have the arcade version on it, but of course you're not playing it the original way. If someone likes it, they like it, right? But there's other games here that, might interest some people. So these pocket players, I just really like the name Pocket Player. Then we've also go to the micro player, and I've heard some good things about a couple of these. I like the fact now they're going with the vertical monitors for Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, and Pac-Man, Space Invaders. I was talking to my buddy Conti Dinda earlier, and he said this was actually really super decent. So, I mean, I like the fact that they put the original art on there. I like the fact that they're using the correct screen orientation. Maybe I've been too harsh on my arcade early, and maybe I need to give them a chance. Jason is right. If you want to sideload ROMs, the Retron and My Arcade both offer that over the 2600 plus. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for the My Arcade. But the Retron, I know what you're mentioning now. The Retron 77, right, Brad? Yeah, Pocket Player or Pocket Pool. That's what we're talking about. Oh, Pocket Player or Pocket Pool. There we go. See, I don't have a ton of real Atari carts. I actually brought them down to the guy that runs one of the game stores here locally and gave him a really good deal on all my Atari carts because like I never thought I was gonna get like some kind of HDMI system to run them. There you go. Nowhere. Everywhere sucks for arcade one-up prices in Canada. Every now and then you'll get really good deals. Like a couple of years ago, London Drugs They used to be an Arcade 1-Up dealer here in Canada, and they decided to clear their stock out, and they had some amazing deals. So you look for places that'll also just jump out of their stuff. But really, the only time to get deals is coming up Black Friday around Christmas. Some of the Arcade 1-Up distributors, like the Brick and Best Buy, will clearance out some cabs. I got the Pac Mania for $2.99 last Christmas. That's the best time to go look. So, anyways, going back, some stuff just doesn't make any sense, though. I know Arcade 1-Up talked about doing something similar to this, but I mean, why am I going to buy like a My Arcade Mega Man? I mean, other than what was it, the Power Battles? Mega Man was never in the arcade. Like, what's the appeal for me to play Mega Man in a way that I've never played it? That's what I don't get. I know they got the license. There's the other thing about this. Like, I mean, obviously they have no problem getting great licenses here. They've got some great titles. They've got Bandai Namco, they've got Atari, they've got Taito. Hell, they've got Capcom. This Street Fighter one, this is the micro player, and someone could tell me what the ROM is. I want to go down and check that. Does it say? Officially licensed, fully playable title. Is it the actual arcade port? Does anybody know? Good luck. It's not fun playing Mega Man on a fight stick. I know. I made fun of my friend Chris, Weekend Game Guy, because he was playing Mega Man one time in a gameplay video he did with an NES Advantage. I was like, why would you make Mega Man 1 even more difficult? So anyways, I'm looking at this, and I would like to know if this is the arcade ROM or if this is the console ROM, because, hey, that might be pretty fun. So anyways, the idea behind this is I'm trying to say maybe my initial impression of My Arcade doesn't need to stick around. I don't need to have the stigma that it's a shit company just because I didn't like the original products. Maybe there's a chance they got better and I just haven't given them a chance. So I am looking at things. Number one that I am looking at, let me just go back here, is, of course, go to the main page, the Atari Game Station Pro. This is the one I'm really looking at now. $139.99 in Canada. I'm going to watch more reviews. This is something I'll probably pick up, because especially if I can sideload ROMs, I can throw Halloween on here, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Plaque Attack. I'm good to go. Anyways, waiting on P-Dubs. We'll check in with him. He is just absolutely gone here. I don't know where he's gone. Oh, Biggie D, that's the worst news. The Genesis version. No. Street Fighter Pocket Player is the key. That they got to stop doing that. They got to stop putting. If you're bringing out arcade titles, you got to stop putting the console versions on there. So this is the one. This is the one I'm considering getting, the Atari Game Station Pro. So I'm going to be looking at reviews of this week. It's $139. I can order it. Ships as of tomorrow, so we'll see what's up. Oh yeah, I got all the Atari 2600 games. I got them from Cool Toy and Nostalgia. I am good to go. Anyways, still no P-Dubs. Maybe he left. Maybe he decided, screw this.
No. I'm back. I'll be back.
All right, P-Dubs. I love you.
Wait. Can you?
I can only hear sound. Let's see if I can get him again.
All right, hang on.
While we're waiting for P-Dubs, let's talk to the audience a little bit. Sorry about this, guys. I love analog systems. Always pair them with Evercarts. Can't wait for the Duo to ship. Oh my God, the Duo. And the N64. N64. Can't wait to see what they do with that. The only problem is it's so hard to get them. I've been thinking a lot about ordering them over the years. It's just like I have EverDrives. Maybe that's a way to go, but also emulation. It's just emulation. When it's not FPGA, just never really gets there. Papa Brad ordered the 2600 plus. I'm guessing, Papa Brad, you got a bunch of the carts already, so you're good to go.
Okay. Hey, sorry.
P-Dubs, welcome back, brother.
What a mess, man.
That's okay, man. We all just appreciate you being here.
So what's interesting is let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Let's see how good it looks on this camera. So I wanted to use this camera, and let's see. I don't know if this camera is going to be able to pick it up or not. Yeah, it just looks so washed out, don't it? But it's not the way it looks. The
Not the
cameras have
way it looks in real play.
yeah,
Any problem with viewing angles from side to side?
oh yeah, it sucks. Yeah,
Oh, that's no good.
yeah, this thing sucks. It's not that great of a screen. Like no matter I've literally tried 4 cameras, and this is the
Okay.
best I can get it to look. So
Is
the
it a
viewing,
TN monitor?
it's probably just something. Hang on a second. Share screen. Nope, wrong one. Let's add a camera. What a mess. Sorry,
Don't
Mike.
you worry about it, man. You are doing me a huge solid, and I appreciate it.
Well, when the buy stuff store guys get mad, you can tell them that.
Why would they get mad? What are they getting mad at?
Hold on, let me mute this. Oh, because I was trying to get the video I have to do for them. I was trying to get that done by tomorrow. So
Oh, they can wait. This you're doing them a solid, man.
that's true. Well, I'm already really late on it, so
Oh, what is it on? Is it on the T2 shooter
yeah,
kit?
the T2. I've been so busy that I haven't had time for this YouTube stuff.
Yeah, me too. This past week, I took a bit of a break. I haven't really done much YouTube stuff. Funny enough, I ended up spending my whole birthday editing and putting together that Pac-Man XL review. I haven't done anything since. I really wanted to get my Ghosts and Goblins review done before Halloween. It's not going to happen. I got tomorrow to do it, and I'm not touching anything YouTube. Tomorrow's 100% kids. Today was as well. So, oh, sorry. All right, here we go. That magic moment. Ooh, that's a really nice looking camera you got going on there. Are you muted, P-Dubs? Are you talking or not talking?
Okay, sorry. My dogs were barking because Melissa came home. So,
Oh, no worries.
all right. So here we go. So this is the unit, and guys, let me know what you think. Like honestly, from a color and artwork perspective, I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the green trim's a nice choice. They got the original Galaga logo there. That looks good.
Keep in mind it's $50. It runs off USB-C, which is nice. Not micro USB, USB-C. So that's nice to see.
Yep, big time.
Sometimes I get frustrated when I see micro USBs on stuff nowadays. Like we should be beyond that. You know what I mean? But people still use it because it's cheaper.
Yeah, I noticed with Ghosts and Goblins, and they might have done it before that, but Ghosts and Goblins had a USB-C as well.
Here's your wiggle stick. Your wiggle stick can only go left and right. That's it. It's got a nice little click in there. It sounds like a little micro switch. You hear it?
Oh, yeah.
And then the button doesn't make any kind of click or anything. But it's a
So-
really small trigger button. Look at the size of that thing. Look how big my fingers are compared to that itty bitty button. Look at that. It makes me look like I have a giant finger, but look at that.
Nostalgia will be right at home.
You get your home, credit, 1 player, 2 player if you want to play 2 players. And then of course on the back of the unit here, we have the you have the volume up, volume down, and then there's your power switch. You just flick it to the right to turn it on.
I'll have to check, Scott. I got Food Fight up there. I'll go take a look.
Now, this screen looks terrible unless you're looking at it dead on. And because it looks terrible, because it's such a cheap screen in here, it's probably not going to come up too good on this.
No, it looks okay there.
Let's see. Let's see what it does. See, it looks all white.
Yeah, I mean? You can see that it's edge lit. It's edge lit, and the edge lighting is really powerful. It probably looks better in person, but on camera it doesn't.
Oh yeah, it looks way better in person. Like that says Galaga, that says Galaxian. But let's go ahead. You have to hit the trigger to select the game, apparently.
So it is the official ROM. That's good. That's the
arcade
ROM.
It is an arcade ROM. Now let's go ahead and give it a shot here with the wiggle stick. Now keep in mind, The screen is black from my point of view. It's not going to look so great for you guys. We're going to insert a credit. But this will at least give you an idea. Gen X Grown Up used a cell phone. Usually cell phone cameras can pick up these little screens a lot better than what I'm using now. But if you hear an audio delay, that's probably because the camera, the microphone's trying to capture what I'm doing. I notice there's a delay. Look, I go right. See that? There's a little bit of a delay in the stick.
Ooh.
You see that?
So input latency.
Yeah, a little bit of input latency on the stick. Look at that. See, I go left, now I go right. It feels like it's running behind. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not Wagner's Tech Talk, but we could get out some, stopwatches and shit like that and do some testing. But yeah, it does look slightly delayed, which is going to be a big problem because, I mean, if you're a serious Galaga player, that's going to drive you nuts. I hear people already complaining about some input delay on the Pac-Man XL. I haven't noticed it, but maybe it's there. But this is very noticeable.
Like, yeah, I do agree. Like, if they were gonna do this joystick thing, this flight stick thing, like, do a game that requires it, like Gorf, like you said. Like Gorf, right?
Gorf, Tron, Zaxxon. There's so many they could have done.
I don't know what made them do Galaga like this.
Again, I thought there was like a Redemption modern Galaga that also used a flight stick. Maybe they were trying to copy off, but I couldn't find it.
I just feel like it's a little bit behind me. I feel like there's a little delay.
No, it does not look like a BOE. Ezekiel, you are 100% right.
Yeah.
How's the sound?
The sound is great. Like, it sounds awesome.
That's good. Usually with these cheaper machines, there's a little bit of a tinny sound, but you're getting good clear audio.
Oh yeah, look at our wiggle stick. I was cracking up when we were showing Gen X Grown Ups video, and he was going like this. Remember in the video? And we were cracking up on Super Game Room dudes. I was like, dude, what's happening?
So Thor KC says, is it latency or dead zone?
You know what? I think it might be more dead zone because you really have to go all the way to the right with the joystick. So for instance, you have to go all the way over here for that micro switch to click. And you really got to crank it all the way over here. Like the joystick is see that? Like in order for the micro switch to engage. So like if you're going like this and you're trying to play and not really going all the way over, it's probably could be a dead zone in there.
100%.
So it's like you really got to get it all the way over when you're playing.
I guess the real test would be if you bought the other Galaga that just had the control stick, and that doesn't have any kind of other option. Like it's flight stick or bust with that one, right?
Yeah. But then again, I mean, these are $50. I mean, even this thing I think should not be $50. This should be $30 at the most, I think.
What's I haven't seen these in a while. So it's got a plastic build, right?
Yeah, it's all plastic, dude. Do you guys think $50 is a fair price for these? You're getting a flight stick, a terrible screen, you're getting decent sound, you're getting the arcade ROM. Keep in mind the screen is a lot blacker in person than it is here. My cameras just every camera I tried cannot pick up this damn screen. So, but I bet if I pulled out my cell phone camera would pick it up. Isn't it weird how cell phone cameras can do that, man?
Oh, it's crazy. Like Nostalgia films everything from a cell phone, has for years.
Yeah, like I buy all these nice DSLR type cameras and they suck compared to like a cell phone camera. Isn't that hilarious? I should just go all cell phone with my content. So, no fast mode or fast fire mode that I could see. No options. But yeah, it's a little hard to play. But then again, I'm playing on my monitor. I'm not even looking at the
I know. It's not exactly. So this is $70 Canadian, $50 US. I think one of the things that's cool about this is it's a cheaper way to play these games, maybe. Like, I mean, it's not for me. I still don't think I'm interested in looking at this one. The Game Station Pro is something I'm probably interested in. I'm probably going to check that out after I watch some reviews. But I still think these I'm not really in love with, and that's more of a choice thing. I don't like some of the desk stuff. If I want to buy something desk stuff, Like with new wave toys, I don't really buy the new wave toys or get the new wave toys because I want to play the games like crazy. I just like the fact that they're real arcade replicas. These have the nostalgia, but they're not real replicas. Obviously, there's some concessions made to fit them in these, I don't know what you call it, form factors and stuff.
Yeah. So it's the exact same size as all their other My Arcades. It just has these extra panel piece right here where this is. I think it's an interesting idea. I applaud them for taking a shot, throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks, and all that stuff. But would I? So, so this is the only My Arcade I ever bought 3 years ago, and I bought this because it looked kind of weird and different. You guys know me; I like weird and different stuff. Would this get me excited to keep buying their products again in the future? No. This is probably going to be the last one for the next couple
I was going
years
to
for
ask
me
you
as
that.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just I don't want to buy this stuff. Like this stuff's not for me. It might be for some people out there. I know there's some people who collect Mike, they collect these, they collect the tiny arcades, they
Yeah.
collect basic fun. Tiny arcades are the ones that are like this big.
Yeah.
The keychain
My
ones.
Tiny Arcade, is that what they're called?
Yeah, My Tiny Arcade. Like, I understand there's an audience for everything. I'm not the audience for these. Like, it just feels like something that, they stick in a Walgreens just to take your money on an impulse buy. Like you
Yeah,
see it,
it's
you're like,
Christmas shit that like
yeah,
grandmothers would buy as
yeah.
they're
Oh my
going through
God,
Bed Bath and Beyond.
I mean, imagine you're walking through Walgreens or Rite Aid or something, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my God, it's Galaga," and you buy it, right? Like that's the target customer for this.
Well,
But hey,
listen,
at least they put the real arcade ROM in there, and it
yep, that's
sounds
a step in the
great.
right direction
The
and good
sound is
sound.
phenomenal. The sound is phenomenal. The screen sucks, and I don't like playing with the flight stick. I don't like playing it that way. I would have preferred just a joystick here, but
How do the buttons feel? Because
oh, these
yeah.
these are the world's cheapest buttons on earth. These buttons suck ass.
So
Like
they're just a step down from arcade one ups.
I could never tell my audience to go buy this for $50. I would buy this for like $20 tops if you guys can get it on clearance or on sale. I don't think it's worth it.
So I wanted to ask about this. I saw some comments about this. Can't be any more frustrating than playing Ghosts and Goblins on New Wave toys. I know in your review, I got to do mine as well. I know that you mentioned that. I mean, obviously, it's New Wave toys. It's kind of hard to play a lot of these games on the New Wave toys. The little bit smaller control panel. Ghosts and Goblins is so friggin' hard, anyways. I mean, it's going to be tough with arcade controls that are even smaller. But some people are mentioning it has an 8-way gate for a 4-way game. Have you noticed that? Anybody else notice that? I seen a couple of reports of that, and I was like, I haven't tested it myself. Like I literally just pulled it out of the box yesterday.
Did they actually open the control panel?
I don't know.
Because they've actually designed those in a way for you not to fiddle with them and not to open them up. Like they've hidden all the nails and screws that hold. Have any of you ever tried to disassemble a New Wave Toys machine? Good luck. Good luck. They have all the screws and nails covered and sealed. Like you don't even know where they are. It's a pain in the ass to take.
I want to put Hap joystick in there.
I think when you feel it, like I mean, when you actually play it, like when I played it, like it's hard as hell to play those two games on those little consoles. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, if anything, yeah, there might be a square gate in there. There might be a square gate in there, or instead of a like, or instead of a four-way gate, yeah, there might be, and
So
that could be part of the problem.
I'm right with Scott on this. What I like about New Wave toys is I like them for the collector. It's a bonus they even play the games for me. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just buy them because they're arcade accurate. They look beautiful. The attention to detail is great. And I don't really play them that much. And P Dubs, I'm sure you're the same way. Like you get it, you play it a little bit,
I
and then it
am
goes up on display.
I have been fully transparent in
Yeah.
every New Wave Toys review I've done. I've said the same thing over and over. I buy them, I have them on display in the loft. Once a month when I dust the loft, I dust them, I'll turn them on, I'll play them, and then I'll put them back on the shelf, and I'll see you in 30 days. But
So
that's it. Like, they're mostly for show. That's it. Like, I don't actually play them, so the fact that they play is pretty cool.
yeah.
For me, they're decorations.
So My Arcade, going back to My Arcade, let's talk about this a little. Retro Champ. All right, Zodwriter, I will look it up. The Retro Champ. So
Maybe
And he said
Oh,
that there's a My Arcade NES that plays real carts called the Retro
mhm.
Champ. So I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay, cool.
19K Fox, the most handsome man on YouTube, says, I play them daily. If you don't, you're not a real 1/6 gamer.
Oh, way to go, Fox.
Bob Oif, who picked this up in Cleveland, I used the crap out of my Mini 90.
Pretty
Doc Chuck says, I just got my Ghosts and Goblins. I'm with you guys. I'll turn them on for the first time, but I'm keeping for nostalgia value and possibly come to collect item. Yeah, that's for me. I actually cleared off my dresser here next to me, and I have all my 1/6 replicate arcades all there in a row for display. And if I ever want to pop them down, I'll pop them down. But I mean, I have so many other ways to play these. I mean,
Mhm.
other than like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, where it's a little bit hard to play through emulation with like the actual, secondary screen and stuff like that. I mean, I have different ways to play them. So, and they have cool options too. Like that doesn't have HDMI out. Does it have a
No,
port to put a controller in or anything like that if
no,
you wanted
no
to?
USB. No, none of that.
None of that.
None of that. No, no USB controller port. Yeah, it's it's crap.
Do you regret your purchase?
Absolutely, dude. $50 I spent on I was like, maybe my arcade is gonna turn the corner. Maybe they're gonna be way better than what they were before, And nope, it's at least they're using real arcade ROMs
Yeah,
versus like I think this one's got a Nintendo ROM on the Miss Pac-Man. So at least they're
yeah.
using real arcade ROMs now. The
The mark
sound on this is really good. I'm surprised at how good it sounds.
the marquee doesn't light up either, right?
No, no, no. It only lights up if you point a light at it.
It just I don't
This
know.
is so dumb. This wiggle stick.
I think that wiggle stick needed to be a little bit bigger. Some people mentioned the fact that it blocks the screen. Did
Yeah.
you feel that way while you were playing it?
Um, no, because I was actually more or less watching on the other monitor play, but from here,
Yeah, just
like,
turn it on right now and
like,
play it in front of
like,
yourself.
all right. I'm actually gonna look at the
Yeah,
system now
look at the screen.
instead of you. All right, let's see if the wiggle stick gets in the way. God, it's so hard to capture these damn screens. So that one says, like, that says Galaga, that says Galaxian. So you get to pick which game you
I'll
want.
have to take your word.
Yeah, take my word for it. So yeah. All right. So let's man, trying to get you guys a better view. All right. Well, forget you guys. I'm just gonna play it for me.
Yes, go ahead and play it. Don't worry about us.
I want to
Just
make
I
sure
want to
that.
know what your experience is like.
All right, hang on. I think I got this figured out. Who needs keyboards, right? Just move my keyboard. Nope,
Keyboards are
that's
for the
not gonna work.
birds.
That's not gonna work either. Damn it. All right. All right. I am looking at the unit dead on from my point of view.
Yep.
Let's see if this gets in my way. I can tell you right now it's not the way because I'm sitting here and holding it and I can completely see the entire screen.
Okay, perfect. That's good.
Yeah, the joystick doesn't get in the way. I mean, not unless you're playing it on a really elevated table and you're a short person with, short arms, you know? Like, yeah, I can totally play it like this. Yeah, the joystick doesn't get
Nice. So we got a super chat came in. I just want to grab really quickly. Nicholas Diorio, $5 super chat. Michael B, you corrupted me. I put money down on my first pinball machine.
Oh, what'd you get? What'd you
I know what he
order?
got. I'll tell him in a second. But you know what? He put money down on a pinball machine. You change that around, you get pinball money. And then later on in the chat, he actually put money down on Stranger Things, what I'm trying to buy as well. So there you go. You
So
lucky son of a gun.
sometimes if you want to buy something used, you don't want to be the guy that lowballs somebody because that might insult them and they might block you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the guys that piss me off when I put something up for sale and then I'll give you $25. But like there's a guy here in Arizona, he's selling a pinball machine I want. He's selling it for 4,000. I only want to pay him 2,000, but I don't want to offer him 2,000 because he'll probably just ignore me, right?
Yeah.
So, but sometimes you got to play the long game, right? Sometimes you got to play the long game. So what I did is I've been waiting patiently, knowing that no one's going to pay his asking price. And it's been posted for like 6 weeks, same price, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000 for 6 weeks. Finally today he dropped it $200. He went down to 3,800. And now's the time to strike, Mike, because the seller is getting desperate. You know what I mean? He's like, "Crap, no one wants to buy it. I'll knock a couple $100 off." But now it's time to swoop in and go for the kill, Mike, and get the deal.
What pinball machine is it?
I'm not gonna tell you because every time I say I'm gonna get it, I curse myself. I went around and I told everyone, I was like, I'm gonna go get remember that Pac-Man, the
Yeah.
Pac-Man pinball? I was like, I'm gonna go buy it, guys. And that guy was a jerk. And I didn't end up with that one. And there have been a few others since.
All right. Yeah.
Every time I tell people I'm gonna get it, I jinx myself. It's better I just get it and then show you that I got it.
Sure.
You know what I
You
mean?
keep it to yourself. Good luck with your purchase, my man. I hope it works out.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. If not, we have other pinball machines coming.
Did you order Labyrinth?
One of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies.
I don't know the movie. You can't quote the movie to me.
There you go.
Are you going to get the Atari Game Station Pro?
Is this my arcade?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I've actually heard good things about this.
I have as well.
I've heard good things about this, and this thing I saw at Costco for only $79 at Costco. So yeah.
If it only comes out in Canada on the 31st, so that's when the pre-orders are going to start shipping. It's $140 Canadian, so it's a little. To me, that's a jump. Something I'd be willing to spend. But if I could get this, like if this came to Costco in Canada, and I could get it for about $99, I think I'd give it a go. I think this would be my first My Arcade purchase, and I want to support them, but my first impression's been bad. The experience that you showed me with the Galaga tonight's been bad, but I think this is what will change my mind. This Game Station Pro, you can add ROMs to it. It's got cool RGB lighting. I like that. I'm a simple guy. That kind of stuff does the trick for me. So,
yeah, you put a bunch of Christmas lights on something, and we all want to buy it.
oh, I mean, like you did buy the well-played pinball.
The Pac-Man XL. The Pac-Man XL.
Pac-Man XL is actually pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty good for them.
I know we're not allowed to say Arcade 1-Up's cool anymore because the tide has turned, but it's really good cabinet.
We're not allowed to say it. Says who?
That's what the community says now. They say you got to be mean to Arcade 1-Up because everything's in the shitter.
I gave that arcade a positive review because I thought it was a good product. I didn't have much to complain about. And I'm one of the most nitpicky guys in this space. Like, people actually get mad at me in my reviews when I'm like pointing something out and they're like, "Oh, why are you focused on that? It's not important, P-Dubs. What's wrong with you?" Yeah. And I'm like, well, I look for opportunities for improvement, right? There's always, whether it's with the artwork, the gameplay, the sound, the experience.
There wasn't a lot with the Pac-Man XL. Like, in terms
there wasn't much to complain about.
Artwork was a little bit squat because of the size of the cabinet. So, I mean, the cabinet could have been wider, and I mean lengthwise. The control panel was a little narrow, so I'm a palm rester, so I found my palms resting over the edge. And I don't like the light up buttons. That was about it. That was all the complaints I could really find with it. There was that frame skipping issue too, but I really had to look to see that.
What I found interesting is that the Pac-Man XL fully assembled weighs like 75 pounds, and Arcade 1-Ups before that on a riser were like 95 pounds. So what did they do to make it bigger but lighter? You know what I mean? Like, that's interesting.
The wood's hollow. It's hollow now. You just don't know.
If I squeeze off a little topple, it's a little wobbly. It's a little wobbly for me. But then again, I play a little aggressive dig dug myself, a little aggressive dig dug action.
What are you doing? The pelvic thrust to it while you're
Yeah.
moving?
Yeah. Everyone step to the left. La, 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 la.
Yeah,
It's a
I
little bit
watched
of
that the
Rocky
other
Horror
night.
Picture Show. Someone asked about my Cuber. My Cuber's awesome. I love my Cuber. Love it. What I need to do is I got challenged to a high score Cuber challenge. So I've been practicing on that arcade downstairs. My high is like 25,000 ish or so, but my competition normally posts 30,000 or higher scores. So I got more practicing I got to do, and then we're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it. But
So the riser actually added weight because if you remember the risers, instead of that weight just being on the sides for the extra height, you also had two solid wood panels on the front and the back,
mhm.
and then two solid wood panels inside that actually held the arcade on it. So that's
Mm,
where you're losing the weight.
okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, I mean, if Arcade One Up does something good, well, I'll say it. I'm sure you'll say it. If Arcade One Up does something stupid, we'll say it. I mean, I always have. So, but then
Do we?
again,
Do we
are
really?
you
Of
are
course we
you
do.
are you allowed to say anything mean now, Mike? Or are you done helping him on those shows? Like you volunteered to help him?
I don't know. There's another show coming up in November. I'm fully willing to do it. I will tell you though, like I got a lot of grief from the community from it, and I'm like, for what? I think I'm trying to do a good thing here. I'm trying, but they're always going to look at it negative, and it is what it is.
Mm,
You saw it. You went through the same experience when you're doing the stuff with At Games for Legend Center. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to question, like, oh, why are you working with this company and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It took like shit. It took like a year, and after a year, everyone shut up. They're like, "Oh wait, he doesn't work for At Games. I was an idiot. I can't believe I said that."
No one works for these companies. Well, Travis works for them. I don't work for
It
them.
was yeah, well, Travis works for him. Wagner works for At Games, but minus that, nobody actually
Cool
works
Toy
for
works
these
for
guys.
Amazon.
Cool Toy works for Amazon, but minus that, minus those three cases, nobody actually works for anybody. So I find that pretty funny.
Yeah.
I find that pretty funny.
Anyways, that's wild. I had fun. I really appreciate you jumping on tonight. It was fun hanging out with you. This ended up being a much different show than I thought.
It
I,
was a
I
disaster, Mike. It was the unboxing was a disaster. I'm so sorry. But if you
don't
had
worry
told me
about it, man.
earlier in the day, I would have tried to get things set up and I would have tried to get I probably would have brought a table in here, brought like
Yeah.
a better camera with a like cable.
Y- y-
Yeah,
You know what the funny thing was? My whole thought process this show was to remind people that if you like something, just because someone else doesn't like it doesn't mean it's bad. It's up to you to
sure.
decide what you like. It's cool that there's a company like My Arcade out there making like really low cost alternatives for people who want to play games this way because just because I want to play something on a larger scale item doesn't mean that a small scale item's wrong. And my whole point was to say maybe they came around. And then you played the Galaga machine. I thought it was really shitty. So I didn't have the positive ending I was hoping I had. I am excited about the Game Station Pro. I want to see more feedback on it, and I would like it to be a little bit cheaper here in Canada. But otherwise, yeah, it's not the ending I thought we were going to get.
So, moral of the story: I bought one 2 years ago, or close to three. Bought this one. Said I'd never buy another one again. I bought this one saying, "Hey, my arcade, change my mind," and they did not, Mike. They did not. So that's the moral. That's what I learned tonight on this broadcast: is that my arcade did not change my mind. If I'm going to buy collector's item arcade machines to put on display, because I and play once in a while, I would probably go with Numbskull or New Wave Toys. Like you get the better overall quality, great conversation pieces to have. They're great to show off. They're beautiful. These are just they're all the same shape. They just have a sticker on them. You know, I'm
Yeah,
just I am not the target audience for this, but these products have a huge following, Mike. I can't believe they have such a big following. But hey, some people like you said, Mike, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you shouldn't like it.
man, I went on Gen X Gaming Grown Ups page earlier, and
Mhm.
I have no idea. I don't follow the guy just because again, but like I mean, I looked at it. I mean. He's got like 8,000 views, almost 500 likes on that video. That's crazy. Even when I have like a really well done video, like a video that gets tons of views, I don't get anywhere near the likes like that. He's got almost 40,000 subscribers. I mean, geez Louise, like good for him, man.
I told you
There's a
he's a
following
good
for this. Oh,
he's
yeah.
a good he's a good content creator.
Oh yeah, there's no question about that. I
And
mean, the setup and stuff like that. He knows what he's doing, and he's got a good voice, good presence. I don't have any problem with him. I just don't like the Galaga stick. I think it's stupid. Why would you make that?
yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do, Mike. I'm gonna trade you this for your Dungeons and Dragons pinball. I'm gonna send this to you.
No deal. No
Come on,
deal.
Mike. Fair
No
trade.
deal.
Even
Anyways,
Steven.
I did want to bring this up, and P-Dubs, you can attest to this. So it's like maybe people be less critical if it were Mikey, no NDA. See, I don't get this. Is there some kind of stigma about NDAs out there? Like if you have an NDA with a company,
I think a stigma was created by people in this community about him, but overall in the video game industry, as well as in business in general, it is such a common everyday piece of paper that doesn't impact anything when it comes to people's opinions about things. So I think it's a stigma that was created in this community by people in this community. But really, like I have NDAs with my real job. I have in the past in this hobby, I've had a couple companies ask me to sign NDAs. As of today, I have no NDAs with anyone. Either they've expired or are null and void. So I get to make fun of Mike for having NDAs, which is great.
I only have one.
But even still, Mike, having one, dude, it's so common. Like for
Yeah.
instance, if I want to join the media list for Capcom, I got to sign an NDA. You know what I mean? Like if I want to, Atari, if you want advanced information to be provided to you
They have to
as
protect
a
themselves.
as a media outlet, because that's what YouTube is. It's a media outlet. Whether YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever you are, tech magazine, tech online magazine. Like, if you want the information ahead of time to prepare content, a lot of companies make you sign an NDA. It is so common. It protects them, and there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Zero.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
But
it.
like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Here's the
so
thing.
common. It's so common in the world of business. I mean, it's so common. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Paul Minderman, Paul's got great concepts, hates nostalgia. And then you read this. The NDA drama is just that. Folks looking for views based on jealousy and not much else. 100%.
Yeah.
Jealousy, erectile dysfunction, whatever their problems are, the NDA is not going to change it.
Yeah. Like I could literally reach out to 8-Bit Dough tomorrow. They're big in video games and arcades. They make a lot of arcade related products as in arcade
love
controls.
8-Bit Dough.
Right. But they make like arcade fight sticks and stuff.
Yeah.
I could reach out to them tomorrow and be like, hey, look, I want to cover your products, but I want to get the information so I could put together really great content. Can you provide me the information? You know what they're going to tell me to do, Mike? Can you sign this NDA?
Yeah.
Does that make me a horrible person? So yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why everybody's so weird about NDAs. I make every woman I sleep
Like I
with
said-
sign one, and I've never had a complaint.
Like I said, it's only a stigma in this community
Yeah.
because it was created as a stigma in this community. There is really nothing wrong with it because
And-
guess what? In my real life job, I have NDAs and nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit.
It's unfortunately, I think there's some people out there that just I don't know, they view YouTube as an outlet to be mean to people, and
Yeah.
they look for whatever excuse they can to justify their actions of being really mean. So it's unfortunate, but guys, anybody doing this stuff,
Yeah.
if you don't want to watch somebody because they have an NDA and you feel it's a stigma, then don't watch them. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I had someone mention to me today, they were like, I don't like this review because you got the product for free. And I'm like, well, don't watch it. I tell you up front, I'm like, thanks for sending this out for
Yeah.
review. I'm not offended. You go do your own thing, man.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, yeah. So I usually shrug a lot of that stuff off, guys, and you should as well. Like, when I hear people complaining about that, you know, when it comes to other things that people do, like, yeah, there's reason to raise the pitchforks, right? But when it comes to that, I'm not lighting a torch over that. So, yeah.
We had a big giant super chat here from JR. Thank you very much, brother. P Dubs and Mike B, love you guys. Thanks for everything you do. Ignore the haters. Keep going. Happy Halloween. I know. Same people that hate Brick Rod. Sons of bitches. Thank you very anyways,
I miss Brick Rod.
Really quick, JR, thank you very much, man. That really means a lot. And it's people like you who keep watching every week that makes this fun, makes us want to keep doing it. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny.
Poor Brick Rod. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. But even when I did have NDAs because I was such a shit, I really pushed the line on those NDAs in this community.
Like if anybody says, "Oh,
I'd be
Mike
like,
or P Dubs won't say something because they have NDAs," you have not been watching me at all. That's a concept
I pretty much
in your mind.
I leak anything I found out. I leaked. Like if I find out something, I leak it. Everyone knows that. Like I can't keep a secret.
I know. Like say for example, B Kong shares a picture of Time Crisis.
But
that's getting leaked out.
Because to me, this is all toys and games. But keep in mind
this is fun.
The companies behind the toys are trying to run a business, right? And we're a community of consumers, right? But to me, this is all toys and this is all games, toys and games, right? Like I don't take it as seriously as I do my day job. You know what I mean? But
I'd be like,
I can't tell you.
Food's on the table.
I can't tell you. And people are like, oh, don't worry, P-Dubs will give us a hint. Your hint is it's a game where the guys in it are really bad and they're called dudes. But I can't tell you what it is.
Oh,
you know
before
what I mean? That's how blatantly obvious. You remember, Mike? My stuff was. And people would be pissed at me. Like, you just revealed it. I'd be like, no, I didn't. But yeah, I was terrible. So yeah.
Before we go, I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but I got to share this.
Oh, sorry to hear about that Orion's dream. Hey, thanks so much, Stevie B. Appreciate it.
Anyways, let me.
James hates everything. He's started his own little YouTube channel, guys. You might want to check it out. He's got some nice opinion videos on his channel regarding the home arcade community. I just watched one of them today, and I appreciated the commentary. But yeah,
P-Dubs, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but Quarter Arcades announced their newest Quarter Arcade cabinet.
Is it Pong?
No.
Oh God, bad news. So stupid. You knew this was coming because they announced Burger Time, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
you're
right.
Like, okay, you knew, like, okay, they got a Data East partnership now. Here come all the Data East games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. What is the game? Is it not Kung Fu? Karate Champ. I wouldn't be surprised if they do Karate Champ.
Yeah, they could do Karate Champ, Joe and Mac.
There's
that list.
Yep, they got the Data East licenses, which is great. Like, Mike, you and I could put together a really strongly worded email. Like, we are venture capitalists out of Maine, and we work for a maple syrup conglomerate that's going to invest in home arcades. Can we have your Data East games? They would be like, sure, man, take the licenses. We give them.
I could contact Gmode tomorrow and be like, yeah. So, anyways, I bought a bunch of those Soldier Boy consoles, and I'm going to rebrand them and put them out. Can I make them officially licensed from Gmode? I'll pay you $30. And they're like, yeah, man, money's money to us.
Take it. Anyone can get that Data East license.
Like I told John, I was like, you can get Data East for cheap, dirt cheap, and he was like, really? Next week, he announced the full Data East lineup.
That's true.
100%. That's what happened. Yeah,
that's true.
Anyways, that's all for tonight. Do you got any big Halloween plans? I mean, your kids are a little bit older, so probably not anything too big. But I'll show you what we were doing tonight. This is us. We were pumpkin carving. We only got one pumpkin this year. Look at little Tommy there. I got him to look at the camera, and there's a wild picture of Scarlett coming up. Look at the face on her. She's wild.
Yeah. Scarlett just got glasses, everyone. So be nice to her. It's a big transition for her.
And here's the final result.
But every time I FaceTime with Scarlett, I remind her that she looks so pretty in her new glasses.
Oh yeah.
So that way she smiles all the time. She always says, "Thanks, Uncle P Dubs." So adorable.
So here's the final product. My wife is an artist, man. She made a Jack Skellington in literally minutes. So there's
That
the
looks
pumpkin we
great.
went with. Yeah, very happy with that. Tomorrow's going to be all Halloween. Used to be so different. Like I would take the day off, sit home and watch horror movies all day and then hand out candy. But tomorrow, pretty much after my daughter gets out of school, there's no tutoring tomorrow. So we're going to hit the neighborhood. We got to go to her tutor. That's the first place we're going to go trick or treating. Then we'll do the neighborhood and then we hit up like parents and relatives in the area, so it's going to be a pretty long day. But any big Halloween plans for you?
So both my son and my wife have to work tomorrow. So I will be sitting at home handing out Halloween candy, waiting for them to get home from work when I get off work.
Oh,
So yeah, we don't have any big plans for tomorrow. So, but what sucks is because I have the dogs, and you guys know the dogs bark. I have to
oh
set
yeah.
up a table. I got to sit outside and hand out the candy because if they ring the doorbells or knock, the dogs are for 3 hours straight. So if I'm sitting out there, the dogs won't know and they'll shut up. So yeah, that's my plan.
All right. Well, anyways, guys, everybody here, hope you have a wonderful Halloween tomorrow. If you have kids, enjoy it. It's the best thing in the world. Going trick or treating with them, watching them get dressed up, and the excitement of getting all that candy. And good luck getting them to sleep tomorrow night. Anyways, from Michael B and P Diddle, who's diddling his My Arcade flight stick right now. Thank you very much for tuning in. Everybody have a wonderful night. Maybe give the Game Station Pro a chance. Don't buy the Galaga flight stick thing. That thing is stupid.
Please don't buy the Galaga flight stick. Please.
Don't do what P-Dubs did done do.
Or if you really want it, buy it, because our opinions don't matter.
That's right. Anyways, night, y'all.